Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's Chase. I'm feeling revitalized. I took a little, a little break towards the end of this. This whole choppy area right here. You guys probably noticed that I wasn't as active on Twitter. The video, I think I was gone for like 8 days or something. Anyway, point being, we're back. Today's video should be pretty alpha filled. I got some pretty specific trades and everything. Probably even show you some entries, stops, and targets. I know people love that. So what I need you to do is subscribe, like this, retweet if you can on Twitter. Anything helps. That's about it. As usual, you guys know these videos are sponsored by PrimeXBT. They're the ones who allow these videos to be free. So please check out my links at the bottom. Nothing in here is financial advice. You guys know the deal. Make your own decisions. I'm just showing plans, setups, what I'm personally doing, and there's many times where what I'm doing may not work out properly. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Feel free to check my track record for yourself, but let's just get into it. So first thing I want to talk about is just this recent Bitcoin thing. I just want to go over this because I know people were, someone asked, oh, did you get filled now? Because I had recently talked about that I had put my orders at 49.1, but I didn't get filled. So let's look at this. Back when price was at 50, I said that we were going down towards 49, and then we were going towards the 52K liquidity. Didn't go as high as I expected, and then I didn't know. So what I want you guys to see is this, is that the setup played out, right? And I'm just trying to explain. I know someone asked me. They said, "Oh, did you get in now?" No, I didn't get in because what was the plan? What was the idea? The idea was that we'd be going back down towards 49K, which we did. Okay, that was the idea. And then the idea was next that we'd be running the 42K liquidity, which we did. Now, it didn't go as high as I expected, right? I had drawn it out going up and towards like this area right here. So it didn't go as high as I expected, but nonetheless, we ran the liquidity, okay? So you need to understand that it's not just levels, but it's also having a plan and understanding what you're looking for in the market, okay? So that's what I was looking for. I was looking for down to 49, and I was looking for liquidity above 52. I did say optimally a push towards 53K, but we look at the 52K swing high to gauge the next move. Okay, so either way, the swing high eventually got taken out, and that's where we saw a downfall from there. So I'm not getting back in on this right now. It could still be good, but either way, it's not like my level hit properly. We went down to 48.6. I got front ran here, 49.4, and then we went down to 48.6. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm trading Bitcoin on derivatives less and less lately. It sort of reminded me of like the stock market, how, if you've ever traded stocks, you know that trading like SPX or SPY is typically much more difficult than trading, like your tech stocks that are popular. SPY and SPX and whatnot, they just feel more algorithmic, less beginner friendly. And Bitcoin's becoming more and more like that, in my opinion. You have these just weird moves where you're getting either front runs or you're getting too deep. And honestly, this right here is like a 2018 move. I miss these, where you get these little runs and you go down. Normally, it's like you get some bullshit chop in here. Oh, and then you deviate. Oh, and then you do this. And then you come back up and retest the market structure break or something. And then you drop. It's usually like something really fucking annoying like that, to be honest. So as I go into 22, and we're going to talk about this today too, as I go into 22, I'm focusing my derivative trading on this L1 narrative, because all these layer ones are having great, clean price action. We can look at Avax, and I mean, we're getting great sweeps. You guys know that we had a long play off of 78, I believe it was. When was that? It was like I want to say like 3 weeks ago or something. We had just simply marked out this low into demand, and we were like, look, we're going to get a sweep of the low into previous highs and demand here, and it was a perfect like to the pip buy. Okay, so at L1s, this L1 narrative is great because I don't want to get into the whole discussion part. We'll do the discussion at the end, but this whole L1 narrative is great because you're getting volatility on these smaller coins where there's less crazy let's just say crazy algorithmic price action for lack of a better words. The price action is cleaner on your Avax and your Lunas and your Sol and things of that nature. Sol a little less so, it's getting a little bigger. But yeah, all right, moving on now. All right, so that was that trade idea, right? That's why I'm no longer looking to get in for the person who was asking me about, am I still getting in? From here on Bitcoin, what am I looking for? Like I said, on Bitcoin, I'm playing very zoomed out when it comes to short-term derivative trading, low time frame trading. I'm looking at, right now, mainly I've been looking at Avax and Luna. They've been playing clean, and that's where my focus has been. What do I think for Bitcoin? Well, I think this. I'm not going to pretend to say up or down, right? Because I think that's stupid. Really what I do is I mark my levels and I trade my levels, and whichever way it goes, I have plans for upside and downside. I think if we see upside, if we can flip this swing level into support in some way, possible that we go up towards this origin of the downtrend right here, 57.6. But also, of course, first we have to pass all this area right here. So there's a lot for Bitcoin to do to get to the upside, in my opinion. I don't know if we've necessarily. I mean, this is obviously a huge liquidity grab, huge liquidation play. But if we wanted more, in my opinion, we look at it like this. We would say, okay, you put in this is sort of like the high of this area, right? So this is your major resistance. We swing above it and we get rejected. And what's the demand that brings us out of this consolidation? That's how I need you to look at it. So you have a big consolidation here. What's the demand that brings us out of the consolidation? Oh, well, the demand that brings us out of the consolidation is here, right in this area, this blue box. And then where's the swing level into that? Which is right here. So if we can get a push into here, that's a buy for me. And I'd be looking for a major target, something like 57.6. Etc. Okay, and also understand that as these things play out, you can't just leave. I mean, in a place like this, I suppose you could just simply leave a bid. But my point is like this: pretend it comes down and it takes out this swing, right, and it goes all the way back up to here. I'm not really concerned with this trade anymore. Like, I wouldn't leave the bid there. I'd come back and see what happens when price comes back down. Just don't think that a bid or an ask should always stay in a certain place. If the story, right, how I just talked about Bitcoin and this liquidity grab, if the story changes, then I pulled my bid, right? I pulled my bid here because the story changed, because we had already taken the liquidity. I wanted my bid filled before we took the liquidity, not after. So the story changed. Okay, so keep in mind, if stories change, that I may, change what I'm doing. And, that's something you should be thinking about as well. So anyway, demand level here, a push into here would be an amazing buy, I think, with a major target. Okay, moving forward. Now we have Ethereum. So Ethereum I had marked out going towards red box first and then seeing blue. But honestly, I think it could go either way. It doesn't really matter to me because the trade's the same either way. I'm not looking to play the chop in the center, right? The major level previously was this. This was your major weekly level. And you can also see it as origin of breakdown, right? So resistance on weekly, and then you go down here and you can see it as origin of breakdown on the daily. So this was your major level. Then look what started happening. You got perfect, you got rejection right here, right? You're getting respect, respect to the level, respect. That was the huge liquidation. Not really sure what to say there. Respect, right? And now you're getting chop. This is when price action has changed, and you need to understand when price action has changed and say, okay, I'm not going to get chopped up in here because we're no longer getting respect of the level. What I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom out and I'm going to play the major move to either side, which is this or this. These are the quote-unquote untested levels, right? So you have this swing high right here into resistance, swing high right here, goes right into untested resistance right here. That should be a clean short, and I'd be playing that either, depending on what happens here, I'd be playing it back to either like, the mid-ranges or I could be playing it all the way back down to blue. Now, since the overall narrative is still bullish, I'm probably more likely to take more profits on the short earlier rather than if we got the long. Probably, and you could see all this built up liquidity here, right? Look at all these lows, low, 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 all these lows. All those lows built up. You get a push into here, you know, that should be good for, you know, a take profit here and a take profit here. And that would be my play for that, okay? So you need to be able to understand when the market has changed from clean, awesome price action that's very tradable into chop, and that's when you need to take a step back and start looking, get out of the chop and start playing the outsides, okay? Simple as that. So yeah, you know, and we've talked about this many times, you know, you go with blind bids, you could do half, you could do 50%, 50% here, 50% on the reclaim. There's a lot you can do with that. Yeah, that's really up to you. But that's my plan. Looking for shorts here, looking for longs here, not getting chopped up in the middle. Why get chopped up in the middle when I have clean price action on Luna and Avax? All right, so let's move over. We're going to look at Sol now. And Sol is actually, like I said, Sol's headed more towards a larger cap coin. It's a 60 billion market cap coin now. And again, at the end, we'll talk about sort of my 2022 plans and how I see all these coins playing out, because I did hold spot Sol and Avax and whatnot throughout 2021. I certainly didn't get to enjoy the whole ride. I wish I did, but I enjoyed a couple legs of it. I got out, I got in, etc., etc. But I don't see myself being a major holder in 2022, and I'll explain why. And I also think that these coins are going to be great for derivative trading, and I think you can see a lot of exposure through that method. So looking at Sol here, again, let's take a look. So we had a swing low, right? It's sort of previous resistance level here, resistance, resistance, flips to support, you get great respect, you put in a swing low, you run the swing low, that was your long right there. So if you were looking for a play off of the swing low, right, a long play, that was it. And then you take profit back at the previous level, which it pushes back up towards here. Pretty obvious, you know, previous origin of move upwards right there, flips into resistance. You're seeing it as resistance again now right here. Zoom in a little bit, probably a little low here. Okay, and then what are you getting from there? Well, you're not really getting respect anymore. You're getting sort of choppy price action, right? So you get a breakdown. What was the point of this level right here? Well, you had origin of breakout here, swing low, origin of breakout from the downtrend, right? So downtrend, 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 origin of breakout right here, right? This is sort of your origin of impulse up, where the breakout came from, and you run the swing low on it. Boom, swing low goes, and you go up. I was personally waiting for lower on this. I didn't actually catch this one. I was waiting for a push into here. So, hey, you know, you can't catch them all, right? But that's how I'm seeing that. And now I'm not personally seeing anything that I really want to do on Solana right now in the short term, because I'm seeing this just looks choppy. We're no longer respecting this level properly, how it was before. And then you have this swing high right here. We probably already took it out, did we? Yeah. Okay, so a clean take out of the swing high, and what are we going to get? Probably more chop right in here. And so what am I looking at for Sol in the longer term? Again, and we can, you know, go back to the Bitcoin example. What do you have here? You had the resistance before the move upwards, you know, major move, right? And where was the demand that sent us upwards? Basically in here. So this began the major up move. You get a retest right here. For some reason, I think this low stays intact, and I can't explain why, but hey, maybe it gets taken out. I don't know. You know, it's also that we may not even get back down here at all. This is why, you know, I'm sort of just planning ahead, and we talk these things out. So when that day comes, if you remember the big nuke day, this day with this candle, if you're new to my page, I literally publicly bought this and planned for this ahead of time. I was all planned for it. When everyone said, oh, no, it's not happening, no way it's going to happen, blah, blah, fucking blah, right? And I caught this, anyone who was following me caught this. We were planned for it way ahead of time. I had literally called for it like here. I said we're going here, and then we're bouncing. And so we caught that. That was when we caught the Avax 78. Excuse me, let me take a sip of water. And I mean, days like that, those are amazing opportunities where you catch, 20% move in a day or something, 22% move on the day. Amazing, especially on derivatives. So if you're wondering, like, oh, why is he going so far ahead? Why is he talking about 125 when we're at 189? Well, these are just possibilities, right? And we're going to get in towards the lower time frame stuff with Avax and Luna. But these are just some possibilities, and we got to be prepared for them. So outside of that, I'm seeing Sol is choppy. I would like to buy around 125. That's my plan. Okay, moving on to Luna. Luna will do the spot first. So high time frame spot, 75. Just clean, right? Resistance, resistance. Flips to support right here. This is sort of your demand level right in here completely. Boom, demand. So anywhere in the blue box, I look for spot buys in here. If it breaks down and flips this to resistance, that's when I look to simply exit. If we get acceptance below, that's an exit for me. What this should look like, it should come into here. It should bounce. Maybe you get a stop run, and then you bounce, okay? Those are good buys. Why spot here? If it comes down slowly, you could do a derivatives play, right? If it's coming down slowly, okay, there might be a derivatives play there, sure. But if it's one of those situations where we're doing this, and then one big down day comes, you don't want to be caught on the leverage and liquidation train, okay? That's why it's spot, because you may get a pierce and you may recover very quickly. That's why it's a spot idea. Okay, moving towards Luna, short term here, and actually this going to be unfortunate because this trade might even happen before the video comes out. Zoom out a little bit here just so we can get an idea. Okay, so we have origin of up move here, right? Origin of this up move, obvious demand level in here. Boom, big demand. The origin of this sort of up move right here is at 80, what is that, 86? 86.51. Okay, I think we could probably see some type of a move like this right here. Push into here, maybe tap this, and my target would be right here. Sort of the same as we had the Avax target, right? It's just the up move before the breakdown, and you look at the low. Okay, and you can also see confluence of it like here. You can see confluence all over the place, right? Resistance, flips to support, and then you lose the support and you go down. But you're looking for the first... You're looking for the first area of resistance, right? If we look at Avax, same thing, right? This was sort of your first. You had up move, and then this was sort of your low before you broke down and you have all red or, black candles since, right? So that was your last up move candle. You target the low, boom, hits it pretty perfectly. And you also, once again, have confluence. Look, confluence here, confluence here. And I'm not pulling these levels out of my ass. Look, this is the resistance before this major up move. There's so many different ways that you can see it, which is why, I talk about it in different ways. It's really all just support and resistance, and you got to just get the experience to get your levels proper. And that's it. So I could spot this from here. I could spot it from here. Let's move to the 12 hour or something. Little less so, right? Because you would have had put it here, but you could also, put it on this close and you get a little closer. Probably a bad example there, to be honest. You could take the 4 hour origin of impulse down. That looks like a good one. There you go. So see origin of down move here, right? And you get the tap perfectly as well. So there's many different ways to see that one, and that's sort of what we're seeing. But these two are the easier ways, and that's sort of what I'm talking about on Luna here. Is that, look, you can see this down move right here. You can see the confluence right here. So that would be my target for this Luna trade idea. What does it look like? It probably looks like something like this. Don't put your stop below these lows. You get slipped, okay? So if you're playing for a short-term stop run, these lows, if you're playing for this low, you want liquidity on this low, why would you put your stop below these lows? That doesn't make any sense. You should get a bounce in here somewhere. If you're going all the way down here, then your trade's invalidated and your idea, your setup was wrong, okay? So I wouldn't be putting my stop all the way down there. I'd probably be putting it somewhere like here-ish, and I'm targeting this, and you get about a 2.59 risk reward, 2.6 risk reward, which is good. If you know me, you know I'm typically targeting between a 2 and a 4 risk reward. Okay. And keep in mind, all these trades are quite subject to how overall Bitcoin and ETH are moving. The markets still all move fairly similar. I mean, you see this all the time. When it's red, it's red. Now we can take a look and we can say, hey, look at Luna and look at Avax. Oh, you know, they're barely moving, even though everything else is down 4%, 10%, you know, not 10% yet, but you're seeing between 7% and 3% drops here, and Luna and Avax have barely moved. So if you get a sweep on this Luna play, it's probably going to work out well if you get any type of a bounce on Bitcoin or Ethereum, or the overall market gives you any time of bounce. This is going to recover quickly and do well. Okay, so we covered the Luna spot, we covered the Luna short term. Avax spot slash, I mean, this is probably still good for deriv, honestly, because I feel like this level should hold. It's basically just this down move. We could see when we, you know, had this consolidation below, you know, this had flipped into resistance, and we never retested it at support, right? Not even here. You didn't even get a test. So if this comes down, you would expect that this area right here flips into support, okay? So you get a long off of this level. You're targeting these highs if we don't clear them out. If we do clear them out, then you're probably targeting something like this right here. Either way, you're getting like a 4 risk reward, maybe a 5 risk reward. You're definitely getting good risk reward here. You could even widen it up a little bit and still get like 2.5. Okay, so that's a pretty good trade idea right there. And last but not least, our current trade that we're in, Avax. I called this one fairly live on crypto Twitter. I posted it at 111. My entry was 110. Okay, let's break this down. We'll get rid of this stuff. Whoops. Okay, so what do we have here? Well, we had our usual swing low, right? So that was the first thing I saw, was this swing low, and into this previous resistance level, which we would expect to become demand, right? You have resistance down, and then you have a swing. So when you have that, you say, okay, so this level should most likely be flipping towards support, and then you have a swing. So that's a clean trade right there. You go right into this level. This is how I played it. I played right below the swing, like 110.14, I think, or something. And then my stop below the origin of impulse right here of this move up, the demand. And this was my first target. So got about a 3 risk reward on the first one, and we're looking for about a 5 risk reward on TP2. So what did we get here? We have demand, we have the swing low, and then we have the sweep of the sweep, actually. So, you know, this is your sweep right here, right? So you got a sweep of this low, check it off, and then now you got a sweep of the sweep right here. Give me 1 second. All right, sorry about that. So yeah, and then you have the sweep of the sweep. So that's it for this one for the most part. And now what are we looking for? We're looking to target, look at this liquidity up here, just air up here, right? Well, it's actually not air, but it's, you have this high as well. I'd like to see all this ripped out, right? All of it. And something in here, and then I think maybe that's when we get our test of our high time frame play. This level right here, this 94 to 96 area, 96.5 area. Maybe we get something like that. That's ultimately what I would like to see. Okay, so let's see. We covered Bitcoin. We covered this trade, we covered the setup, and I explained the setup. The long idea, short idea, long idea, Sol, spot idea, Luna, spot idea for the most part, depending on how it comes down. Luna, short-term idea, Avax, longer term idea, and covered the current Avax trade. Okay. Yeah, guys. So, like I said, you know, subscribe, like the video. Let's get into the discussion section. So, going into 2022, I've sort of already talked about it, right? My plan is to focus on derivatives with, you know, these L1s that are seeing a lot of volume, and they're having clean price action. It reminds me of, you know, the 2017 and in the early 2018 when Bitcoin was still exciting to trade and whatnot before it turned into the bear market chop. That's what's exciting me right now. Personally, what I'm waiting for on a lot of these is to see a final push to sort of exit more spot holdings. I'm mostly out of like my Solana bag. I exited some on this sweep, some at this level right here was like 194 or something. This origin of impulse down, then I ditched some more here. If there's one more, leg up, fine by me. I'm happy to take off the rest. The thing is that I'm not, I know a lot of people are gonna say, oh, this everything's going 2x, everything's going 10x, but I'm seeing large market caps. I'm seeing coins being up, Sol in particular being up 130x since the start of 2021. So a year it's gone up 130x. Is it going to go up 130x again this year? Absolutely not. You might be able to get let's say 2022 is extremely bullish. Maybe you get another 5x. Maybe you get maybe another 5x, maybe another 8x. I mean, imagine Solana at, 5x, that's $1,000. That would be crazy, and that'd be huge market cap. It'd go from 60 billion to 300 billion. If it was ETH prices, then that's another, it would have to be at like $2,000 or something. So there is room to run, but your biggest gains and what I'm looking for from spot is I'm not looking for spot bags that are going to do necessarily 2x or 3x, which is what maybe Sol gives you this year if we have a very bullish year. Avax is a little smaller on the other hand. It's like 30 million, right? And it's it's not as popular as Sol yet, I don't think. Or 30 billion, sorry. So maybe Avax has, let's be super bullish on Avax and say it has a 10x in it. I mean, that would be insane. So 10x gains are great, of course, right? So I will keep a spot bag of Avax. I don't think I'm going to be sitting in Sol much more. But overall, when it comes to like, spot bags, I don't want to, I'm not going to throw a crazy amount of portfolio into like degen bags. But my point is that I want to try to find new stuff. If I'm going to take 1% of portfolio, I'm not putting 1% of portfolio into Sol. It doesn't make any sense. If I wanted to see, meaningful gains out of any of these huge caps, I need to put in, meaningful percentages of portfolio. And I don't think I'm comfortable doing that because I'm not sure how bullish 2022 is going to be, 2022. If there are, if the Federal Reserve does do rate hikes, as they said they're going to, maybe they don't, maybe something happens with COVID, but if they do those rate hikes, then that means that overall markets should be going more towards the risk off, and we should be seeing lower prices on everything. So I'm not going to be committing 25% of my portfolio to Sol, just maybe so I could get a 3 or a 5x this year. But I might see, 40% drawdown in the nearby future, and maybe you don't get that 3 or that 5x. So I'm looking for new coins that have, and if you haven't looked at, it's going to be hard for me to say stuff without, referencing Kobe here. If you haven't looked at Kobe's, I think they're like Substack or Medium articles or something, go take a look at those because he did a really good job of talking about, like attention on tokens and whatnot. And stuff like Solana and stuff, it has all the attention it could ever get. Like, outside of bringing newcomers into crypto, everybody pretty much knows about Solana. And I just don't see it doing a 5x this year. I don't. Maybe it will, but it's not. There's not good risk reward there for my capital. I'd rather, let's just pretend I was gonna put, let's say I would put 20,000 into Solana. I'm just gonna pull numbers out of my ass. I'd rather take that 20,000 and split it up 5 ways and put 4,000 into all these brand new L1s that have maybe $1 billion market cap, or maybe they have $5 billion market cap or something. Why am I going to put it in one that has 60 billion? It just doesn't make sense to me. So I'm slowly exiting larger bags such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, Sol. I think I'll still hold on to a decent amount of ETH, but when ETH gets towards here, I do want to probably take off a little bit of spot, and maybe I go for a short. We'll see what happens. It's like the same thing, right? You're selling either way, one way or the other. I'm gonna sell in the red box. If it flips the red box to support, then I probably look for a derivative long. But point being is, I'm looking to get out of what I'm seeing as high market cap, quote unquote boomer, crypto boomer coins, right? I don't need to be in something that has a $1 trillion market cap. I don't need to be in something that has a 600 or 400 billion, whatever ETH is right now. I think it's 600 billion market cap. Sol at 60 billion. Okay, maybe it still has some room to run, but why not just go lower? Why not go to Avax, which has a lot of hype on it, 30 billion cap? So if I get opportunity on major dips on any of these L1s, I'm looking for that as well. But overall, derivative trading, these L1s, because they're popular, they have good volume, the price action is clean, and that's my plan going into 22, and looking for new spot bags. I don't know what the next narrative is. Again, referencing Kobe, I don't know what the next meta is. If you feel like you have strong conviction about what it is, let me know. I mean, I think NFTs already had their big run. I know, people say they're coming back now. But the reality with NFTs is something that I said on my feed. See if I can pull that up. Okay. Yeah, I said this. So there's a new coin that only has 10,000 total supply. It doesn't have much volume, but if I tweet about it and my friends tweet about it, we can probably generate enough volume for some strong flips before it goes back into irrelevancy. This is 95% of NFT influencing, by the way. And that's really what it is. NFT influencing is you sweeping the floor and then telling everyone you swept the floor, and there's only 10,000 of them, and hoping people follow you and buy. Honestly, maybe it turns into something more in the future, but I've never seen anything that's such a fucking cash grab, such a scam. I honestly hate it. It's so annoying. When NFT season came, I should have just fucking created my own NFT with a bunch of influencers and just sold 30,000 of them on the fucking retail dumb pleb heads, and I could have just disappeared for the rest of my life. They're all cash grabs, and it's a fucking scam. And that's it. Like I said, and I said it when NFTs were popping off too, the only thing I'd ever hold would be blue chips. Something like a punk, I guess an ape or whatever, even though I think the apes are fucking cringe. I don't like any of it, really. I think the punks are cool, actually. But I just, I'm also not going to spend $300,000 on a punk. Why? Because, I could afford one, but it's not intelligent spending of my money. I feel like I could get better gains elsewhere, and it would be a good amount of risk for me. I'm not like a multi-millionaire, so I don't want to be putting $300,000 into a punk when I could buy a house or use that on, split that up and use that for derivative trading or something that I'm actually good at rather than gambling. Because I'm not an NFT influencer, so I can't just sweep floors and tell everybody, oh hey, I swept the floor, and then people just start fucking buying, and I flip into them because I generated a little bit of hype, so people start buying. Anyway, I don't want to go down the whole NFT hate train. Like I said, cash grabs, scams. Yeah, that's really it. So that's my 2022 plan. Is the L1 derivs and slowly exiting out of these larger cap coins, looking for new coins. Oh yeah, I was talking about the meta. Yeah, I'm not sure what the meta is going to be. Is it going to be gaming? I think the gaming thing already had its little bubble. Doesn't mean it can't come back strong. I do think there is validity to the whole crypto gaming thing, and play to earn is definitely something that's going to stick around. I just don't know how long it sticks around, because it gets diluted. At the end of the day, it gets diluted, and if you're not one of those like super early whales with the generation zeros or whatever the fuck you call them, you're just not making a lot of money, and it is what it is. You're making good money if you're a third world child, but that's about it. So I'm not sure what the next narrative is. People had said privacy, they said ZK rollups, L2 scaling and whatnot. I really don't know. I'm not the best fundamental analyst. I never pretend to be. My I excel, for lack of better words, I excel when it comes to crypto in the trading part of it, not really in the fundamental or necessarily under. And I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to definitely see like what's coming up next, and that's sort of why I'm clearing out bags a little bit, because I want to be able to try to get in some things early. And I'm not going to overcommit. Maybe 2-3% portfolio into something that looks new and looks strong, and have conviction in it. But that's all you need. You put 2% of your portfolio into something that goes 100x, like easy money. It's as simple as that. Okay, hope you all enjoyed. Like, retweet, sub, etc. Thank you all very much, and I will see you next week. Peace out.